Dry January, sober October. Like there's all these different excuses and reasons for people to, and I get it, man. It's like, it's kind of catchy where it gives you an idea. And if that works for you, that's really cool. I want to share some stuff on this podcast today or on this topic today of like, even just doing like a detox from life. One of the things that I've recognized for me, and you can take this and make this applicable to alcohol or just, what I did with digital detox. I've found this, and I'm gonna state it for you. If it is not adding to your life, it is taking from your life. So I talked on one of the previous episodes about how do you do this, right? Like, Mark, what did you do? How did you make this work? How did you get sober? How did you go from drinking bottles upon bottles and drugs upon drugs and just spending money and just being a liar and a cheater and just an awful human being? Like, how did you make this shift? How did you make this pivot? Well, I made a decision. I made a choice. But even further down inside, I had to understand like what about that choice and what about that decision wasn't serving me. And I wanted to give you the framework today for the next, 8, 9, 10 minutes and looking at things inside of your life and being like, yo, is it serving me or is it not? I want true valuable content to come to land on your ears or whoever's watching this, share it with people that you love. Like that's the whole thing here. I don't care if you enroll in IAMACOMEBACK or if you join me or what you do. I care that you take from this information, you do something with it because I want your time you spend with me to be adding to your life, like not taking it away. I spent years taking shit away from my life. I spent years. I think about this often. Maybe you can put it into context for your life. I live in Wisconsin. I also have a house in Florida and I travel often, but like more often than not, the past, 20 years, I've been in Wisconsin. And when I drank, I'm like, Wisconsin already is a snowy, cold, gray, like 7 months out of the year is not awesome. We don't have that many sunny days. And I think back about all the times that I wasted sitting inside of a bar that I'll never get back. Listening to this jukebox, paying attention to stuff and around people that do not matter. Like it's easy. Think about this. Like it's super easy to always find somebody to drink with. It's super easy to always find someone to do the negative things with. But how easy is it to find something that's adding to your life? Well, this was one of the decisions for me. Like when I looked at it, I'm like, yo, this is not adding to my life, AKA alcohol, drunk, hangovers, lying, depression, deceit, cheating, just self-indulgence of abuse. Like this is not adding. I need to do something different about it. Inside of that, I need to make a choice and a decision. I knew that adding or spending my time inside of a dark, dingy bar is not adding to my son's life. I knew that getting my paychecks or building my businesses or writing paychecks to the people that I was leading at the time and going out and deploying the money that I worked for, like the hard-earned assets, the paper, it's imaginary anyways, right? But go get this stuff and I would go spend it and it'll be gone. And the very life that I said I wanted, the goals and the dreams and the things that I was after, I was like, dude, in the self-cyclical, karmic, alcohol-induced loop of insanity, not adding to my life. So what I want you to do right now today is actually do something tactical. I want you to get out a pen and a paper, or maybe you open up your phone. I've got my phone sitting right next to me. And I want you to start a pros and a cons list. Like, I did this. These are the pros of what alcohol had done to my life. This is it. These are the pros. Here's the cons. Like, this is not rocket science. Think about this just conceptually. The choice and the decision that you have to make as a man or a woman who's about to make a choice and a decision to change their life by changing their relationship with alcohol and by choosing when, if, or how it fits into your life really comes down to that, what I just said. Is it adding or is it taking away? So when I looked at it, I'm like, man, to a certain degree, alcohol added a lot to my life. I'm not going to lie. Drinking, partying, I had a lot of fun times. There's a lot of relationships, a lot of memories, a lot of people that I spent time with that it was fun. Long nights on the boat in the summer when it felt like the summer was never going to end, right? Parties with my friends and laughing and jokes and things that I can remember. Sometimes it made it easier to close business deals, like over those handshakes and happy hours. Like it did add to my life. But then when I looked at the chain, like what it wasn't doing, right? Like when I really looked at what wasn't working in my life, my health was declining. My business suffered. Every relationship that I was in, it was toxic. Friends, family, like it didn't matter. It was hurt. I was hurting it. My self-confidence was like built off of lies. If I was drunk, I'd be able to like be somebody I didn't want to be. Like I would literally act a certain type of way. DUIs, jail time, people dying that I loved. And I started looking at it and I'm like, damn, dude, why would you continue to chase pain? Like, why would you actually continue to choose to chase this pain, Mark? That was a question I had to ask. And like, look, there's nothing super complex about making the choice, the decision. This is my key. I was writing about it this weekend and I want to give it to you. The superpower that you possess inside of you is just looking at what you're doing wrong and do the exact opposite. You do not have to overcomplicate this thing. Like, get out a pen and paper, pros and cons list. Here's what's not working. Here's what's working. Here's what I liked about it. Here's what I didn't like about it. See, the message that the true message that I speak at I'm a Comeback, or from Mark Jennings and me as a person, is not whether you should or should not drink. The truth is, it's irrelevant to me. I do not care. I want to provide you with the message of empowerment. I want the message to add to you. I want you to know that you can do it. 50 to 60 drinks a day, like literally was how much I drank. Like that's no bullshit. Bottles upon bottles of just alcohol shots, right? Cocaine fueled benders, meth, heroin, pills. Like I couldn't get it in my body. Steroid, I couldn't get it in me fast enough. Like I literally loved everything about it. But when I looked at like what it was adding to my life was nothing. Even to the point like the way that I looked from the stairs, I looked really, really good, but dude, I was not healthy. And just up recently here, there's been a switch and a pivot I had to make inside of my life. I'm off of it's interesting because you're probably watching this on social media, but I decided to make a decision. I'm like, dude, all this negativity out in the world. I've got a team of, I think we got 13 or 14 people that work with me right now. Not for me, work with me in the IAMACOMEBACK. We've got thousands of people through the program, all different places. We're selling books and challenges and coaching and one-on-one coaching. I've got all these different things. I've got millions of people that tune into the content. Like I don't need to participate in the negativity out here in this world. Like I don't need to participate in what's going on in the economy. I don't need to participate in what's going on in the government. I don't need to pay attention to what's going on in the news. And I looked at it, I'm like, dude, you're finding yourself sucked down this hole where you're not actually being a creator. You're being a consumer. Now I'm going to put that applicable to the message of alcohol. You're a creator of your life or a consumer of negativity, a consumer of pain, if you choose to lead down that path of pain. Because what happens is we get to a fork in the road, man or woman, it does not matter, where you drank to the point that it no longer serves you. The reason that I want to leave you with doing this pros and cons and spending time looking at it is because you can't make an educated decision if you're not willing to look at all the facts. And the facts are, for some of you guys, reduction is cool. Drinking in certain pockets of your life is cool. For some of you guys, you should never drink again. See, I don't think there's a one size that fits all when it comes to solving your alcohol relationship problem, to reducing or simplifying. I think you get to determine how you want to live your life. But if you won't look at what's going on from both sides, and let's be honest, man, sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes it's really difficult to look at your life in the pain. All you can see is more pain. And all I'm asking you to do right now is to take a decision and make a choice and make a decision, look at your life and say, man, how much pain is too much pain? And for some of you guys that's like having a great time and you're watching this, you're like, yeah, you know what? I actually could reduce this thing a little bit. I did the same with my social media. I made a decision. I don't like the way that I feel when I watch and start comparing or start seeing and start like doing things for whatever reason. I don't like the way that feels. So I do something about it. I made a pros and cons list. Here's what we thought. Went to my wife, made some changes, changed the way that my kids operate, and said, I want to do something different. Like you recognize the simplicity in a choice. Too many people, now this is like if you stayed with me for these last 10 minutes, too many people go through their lives making their life harder than it has to be. They make their economic, they make your household, your money, your finance, they make it so much harder than it has to be. You make getting your relationship with alcohol harder than it has to be. You make your relationship with your wife or your husband harder than it has to be. You make raising kids harder than it has to be. Why? I'm not here to say I'm better than you. That's not like even what this is about. My life was not working. I did not like the way that it went, so I did something about it. And I want to share this. If a guy like me, who can go from facing what he faced, doing what he did, feeling the disgusting of his life, losing businesses, trouble, liar, cheater. If I can actually change and turn my life around, so can you. My question for you today is though, what's it going to take? Remember, the message fits a wide array of guys. There's someone out here that needs to read a book. You need that information, and the information is simple. Not a disease, it's a choice. The choice every day to drink. It really is. Can it turn into a disease? Yes, absolutely. Are people going to get mad at that? Yes, absolutely. Some of you guys are looking, you're at the point like, you know what, I need my first 30 days of sobriety. We've got opportunities for you to do that. Other people are like, hey man, I want to coach my business. I need some different help. My problems are different. I feel you. I was the same way. This is not even a pitch for you to go click anything. This is just a pitch for you to know what we're about. What we're about is helping you solve your problem. But in order for us to help you solve your problem, you got to establish the facts about the fact of what the problem is going on. Not all problems need to be hitting rock bottom. Just because mine hit rock bottom. The truth is, I don't even know that they did hit rock bottom. Like for me, I often say this. I don't often say it. I say it all the time. I would have just, for me, rock bottom was death. That's it. I kept going like a cockroach, lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. And then finally I realized like, well, dude, like you only got one more rung to go on this thing, and that's death. Pros and cons. Here's what's worked when I drank. Here's what didn't. Be honest with yourself. Like, I don't care if you're driving, go through your head. Like I said, to get out a pen and paper, but like literally pay attention to what has alcohol done good in your life? What has it done negatively? Where do I sit with this? Do I need to make a choice, a decision to shift and pivot this or not? That's up to you. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and spending the last 10 or so minutes with me. Remember, the greatest gift, the greatest power that you possess is the ability to choose. I hope you choose to win today.